In late July 2026, the people building the future of artificial intelligence essentially admitted they are losing control of it. Over 1,300 researchers and executives signed a public declaration that painted a terrifying picture of the near future. The statement was explicit. These leading companies believe they are closing in on automating AI research entirely. If AI systems can design their own upgrades, capability development could rapidly accelerate well beyond human comprehension or our capacity to safely manage the resulting systems. What makes this admission alarming is the consensus. The signatures belong to the very architects driving the most aggressive projects at OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, and Google DeepMind. These are fierce competitors signing the exact same grim forecast. Leo Gao, a researcher at OpenAI, described the situation in stark terms. He stated, "The world is locked in a deadly race towards an intelligence explosion, like a runaway nuclear chain reaction." Ilya Sutskever, co-founder of Safe Superintelligence, backed up this assessment, warning publicly that future AI models will be extraordinarily powerful compared to anything that exists today. By publishing these warnings, the creators of this technology are telling the public that they have taken their hands off the steering wheel. They are acknowledging a massive vacuum of control over systems they are actively building. The signers didn't just list their fears. They made a specific plea. They requested that the U.S. government back an international effort to build the technical and governance tools needed to deliberately pace the frontier of automated AI. This diagram illustrates a classic game theory scenario called the prisoner's dilemma, which executives use to justify why they can't just slow down on their own. In a hyper-competitive market, if one company pauses its AI scaling to focus on safety, it risks losing its market position completely to a rival who keeps accelerating. Because of this dynamic, they argue that today's ecosystem simply lacks the mechanisms, both technical and regulatory, to deliberately pace progress across the entire industry. So these industry leaders are asking slow-moving national governments to eventually mandate the necessary time and safety standards, time that they actively refuse to buy for themselves right now. The open letter serves a specific corporate purpose. It creates a public record of abdicated responsibility. Tech executives frame themselves as helpless bystanders caught in the gears of the market. They use competitive pressure as an alibi to avoid implementing immediate, voluntary pauses on their own dangerous development cycles. By begging Washington and other global capitals to build options to slow down later, corporate leadership effectively kicks the can down the road. This deflection allows them to dodge spending massive capital to fix foundational security flaws today. There is a massive disconnect between their urgent public demands for future international treaties and their quiet refusal to limit the immense computational power they are currently hoarding and deploying. Portraying themselves as paralyzed bystanders is highly convenient. It serves as a commercially beneficial smokescreen designed specifically to keep the heavy costs of safety measures off their own balance sheets. The contradiction is stark. While signing open letters requesting external governance tools, these exact same labs are aggressively racing to release their products to the public. They are actively pushing faster, larger, and increasingly unexplainable autonomous agents directly into the consumer market, often with minimal independent safety testing. Financially, these labs are pouring billions of dollars into scaling up the intelligence of their models. They are the primary financiers of the very acceleration they warn about. The narrative of inevitable speed ignores a crucial fact. Every quarter, these companies choose to prioritize aggressive scaling over the safety tools they lack. This trajectory is a human, profit-driven choice rather than an unchangeable law of nature. Because reliance on self-interested executives is failing, real progress requires moving the battle out of the boardroom. If the creators won't steer the ship, the public has to force independent oversight. We need laws requiring mandatory third-party safety audits, shifting deployment decisions from corporate boardrooms to independent regulators. We also need strict protections and bounty programs for tech insiders to safely expose capability leaps or safety breaches directly to the public. Outside of legislation, citizens can use economic leverage. Retail investors and pension fund managers can sponsor and vote for corporate resolutions that force public tech companies to create binding safety boards and conduct independent risk assessments. Everyday users hold power. By shifting usage to transparent alternatives, consumers can withhold data and dollars from companies rushing unverified agents to market. Combining strong legislative demands with targeted economic pressure creates a force that tech monopolies cannot ignore. It overrides their inertia and forces immediate compliance with safety standards. The first step to reclaiming control is to reject the premise that uncontrolled AI acceleration is somehow destined to happen. It is not an unstoppable force of nature. We have to redefine how we view these systems. Frontier AI models are not mystical entities. They are commercial products. And just like modern airplanes or everyday pharmaceuticals, they must be subject to standard, rigorous public safety regulations. To ensure those regulations hold, we need to financially and socially support the independent watchdogs. Academic institutions, investigative journalists, and nonprofits are crucial for monitoring AI safety completely independent of corporate influence. The governance of machine intelligence is too significant to be left to paralyzed industry leaders. It requires an informed public ready to assert democratic control.